All right, and we are live. Um, Shout out to Miss Angela Stanton and Mr. Maj Toure. I don't think either one of these two need any introductions. Miss Angela, people love you.
That's a good thing. Y'all hold on a second. UPS man at the door. Hold on one second.
Okay. But yeah, they love Miss Angela Stanton. Every time I say she's coming on, they're like, "Oh my God, this is for real, Angela." I'm like, "Dang, what about me?" No, just but give them a little bit of background on yourself, brother, since she had to go answer the door.
Yeah, I'm the first. Thanks for having me, man. I truly appreciate you being, speaking up, having me on, and all of those, obvious things. We in essence created an organization called Black Guns Matter, which is a firearm safety and training organization that we go to all of the areas where it's the most homicides, because that usually goes hand in hand with restrictions on the Second Amendment, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's Black America, urban America. So
Mm-hmm.
we just go to those areas and do the classes. We started as just it was going to be one event, and we started this like, yo, we're going to do an event. It was going into the 2016 presidential election, and everybody kept saying we need a voters registration drive, and be like, yo, we need a license to carry drive. So we did an event. Way too many people came, and then we just kept doing it. And then every time we would be like, okay, we only going to do 25 cities. We only going to do this. Everybody was like, nah, man, you got to keep going. So it's been bumpy because it turns into a Second Amendment and gun class sometimes turns into a political education class. When you tell people, like, yo, you have the right to keep and bear arms, this is how this thing is constructed in America. And that's the supreme law of the land. It's
Mm-hmm.
how it's marketed to us is like, nah, I can't do that. If I got a gun, I'm gonna go to jail. If
Yeah.
you got a gun, you better be in the military. You better be law enforcement or something like that. So it winds up turning into these weird political education classes because of the fact that so many people in our communities have been told like, nah, that's just bad for you. Guns is bad. Ignorance around firearms is bad. So saying that to say we continue to go, we completely crowdfunded. We keep these classes free to all,
Mm-hmm.
and just because we want to remove that financial barrier to entry. So that's pretty much what I do. When we turn that into noticing that so many people may not be at the space where they want to talk about guns or they even want to have a firearm yet. We started talking about a lot more political things. That's how, where Sister Angela comes in at, and cultural things and social issues and all of that. So we expanded that a little bit larger into the solutionary lifestyle. The Solutionary Summit, obviously, everybody's down in Miami, September the 3rd through the 5th. And that's kind of like the evolution of the work, that we've done. And it doesn't mean we're removing the work from Black Guns Matter. But at the same time, it does mean that we got to expand. You can't just tell somebody, yo, here's a firearm, here's how to be safe and responsible with it. But okay, what equity do they have built up in their life where they feel like they even worthy of defending themselves?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about all of those different things. And I'm really appreciative for Sister Angela for coming in and touching some of the areas that like a lot of people are nervous to discuss. They may be thinking it, they think it, and they say it quietly, but they don't really openly say like, no, something's wrong here for the fear of the backlash, the fear of whatever. So when she said, yo, let's bring the real talk toward this solutionary summit, absolutely, absolutely, because we need our people to see it's not just one or two of us thinking these things. Some of these people, as you all know, as soon as you say something, they'll say, man, I was thinking the same thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of us that's thinking the same thing, but it just takes a few bold folks to step out, front, and really visual, not only verbalize it and vocalize it, but also create spaces where people like, yo, this is a space where there's more people like us that's doing that. And so again, I'm tremendously appreciative for you for coming through as well, my brother. And I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good time.
Let me ask you this. What do you think? Because I know what I say that keep people quiet. What I feel like is keeping them quiet. And I always say it's company policy, because I feel like you get fired if you don't say what's popular. And usually that's what's on CNN. So what do you think it is that's keeping most people quiet, but then they can walk up to you, walk up to Miss Angela and say they agree with you in public?
They don't. So on one level, in the beginning phases, I do think it's that company policy. I think after company policy, you know how you ever have a job and they fire you, right? And then like I had one job and I got fired. Like I worked at Foot Locker. That was the job that I had, right? And they fired me. And in that moment, you feel like, oh my God, what am I gonna do if I lose this job?
Mm-hmm.
You lose a job and you recognize like, oh, that it's not actually that bad. I got these other things that I could be doing.
Yeah.
So initially it is that. But then when reality sets in, when they do get past that, if they get past that, in my experience, it's the acceptance of what the responsibility that comes along with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing that makes people afraid to really step up. When you know this vaccine thing is not okay. Like, do it if you want to. Cool. I don't care. It's your body. I don't care. But if you really in your heart of hearts know that it shouldn't be forced on somebody, right?
Right.
The responsibility that goes along with saying no, thank you. Now you got to the job says no, thank you. And you know, I think a lot of them are pump faking. If more people say no, and then they won't even use that as a threat anymore. But the other thing is, if you do lose the job, the responsibility of providing and protecting is still there. You were comfortable being quiet, for lack of a better term, which is actually a perfect term, to be with the go along, the get along thing. You were comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
It made you feel, protected.
Mm-hmm.
When you recognize that they'll still fire you or they'll still, kick you out of your school or whatever, then you go, okay, cool, that wasn't that bad. But now what am I going to do? The fear of responsibility and it being hard for those moments, I think is what stops people from saying and doing what's necessary. Like right now, we know the answer. Some of these things that they're pushing, I don't carry. It's a gun right there. It's guns in the back. I don't carry guns because I know what they do. They stop bad people, right? That's a responsibility. And it's an answer. If someone's trying to rape someone around me, the responsibility of handling your business is there. We don't want to accept that this may be, may have to use force. So it's easier to just like ignore and pretend like that's not the reality of the situation. And maybe they won't fire me, but they still can and will if you don't actually stand up for something. I think people don't, because we recognize that America has done some horrible things. If we isolate it just to black folk, right? America as a nation, we have done some horrible things. And I say we because this is where I live. With that being the case, America was founded on violence. Like, let's be clear. When other people tried to force the founders to this place to do something, they shot them. They said no, and they kept going, so they had to shoot them. That is a responsibility because now you cut off. Because now you potentially a criminal. You potentially, the bad guy. When in reality, you were the righteous person, but you on this side of the totem pole. So I think people initially be fear of loss, and then the fear of being responsible and accountable for what comes after not being dependent anymore.
Well, I'm gonna chime in here for a minute, Kwame. Of course, thank you again for having me on the show. Maj, I started working with Maj maybe about 2 years ago when I was first invited to appear on his Solutionary Summit. And what I liked about the Solutionary Summit was that it wasn't just a bunch of people coming together to run their mouths. We were actually trying to find solutions. A lot of people talk about, people in the movement, who's a grifter, who's not a grifter, who's doing something for the community. And what I pay attention to is the people that are not only just on social media, but also has nonprofit organizations that are in our hoods that are educating our people, right? If you are in the hood, you educating the people, you giving them what they need. I don't necessarily consider you a grifter. But if you're just on social media and all you're doing is pointing this out, or you just always got something to say, that's something different. But some of us has been out here for a very long time putting in the work. And the people that's out here in the community doing the work, a lot of times they don't get the recognition, right? They're always overlooked for the ones that are actually bought and sold. And it's hard out here. But for me, the Real Talk Tour, which we're going to be having in Miami on September 4th, you guys make sure that you come through. On the stage, we're going to have Kwame Brown. Of course, I'm going to be the moderator. We're going to have Maj Toure, Judge Joe Brown, Brother Risa Islam, and we're also going to have the former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick. I reached out to Kwame myself and asked him if he would appear because we need solutions. Where do we go from here? We're getting the message out, right? We're using platforms like Kwame. We're using platforms like mine. You got Maj Toure. I think Maj, you just got deleted for the first time. I'm probably on my 3rd Instagram page now. If you all aren't following me, it's Miss Angela Stanton, MRS. Angela Stanton. And now that we have your attention, now it's time to get active, right? What do we do next? Well, Maj, you need to make sure that they are aware of their rights. A lot of our young men that are walking around here with guns and getting locked up or getting in a situation have to defend themselves, and the next thing you know, they charged with murder and not self-defense. Why is that? It's because nobody taught you how to go down and properly apply, right, for your concealed carry, how to apply for your permit. See, a lot of things that we do, they do as well, but they do it legally, so they don't have to worry about any recourse and don't have to worry about getting in trouble. It's important that we are educating our communities. This stuff that we're talking about the jab, we're going to really get into that on September 4th. We need to know our rights. I'm all with Maj Toure. If you want it, go ahead and get it. But if you don't want it, should it be forced? Absolutely not. They out here talking about my body, my choice. If it's a woman, it's not even her body. She get to go kill a whole nother person, the baby that's in her body. But when it comes to us, if we're saying we don't want it or we're not comfortable with it, for them to say, hey, you have to get it. It's not FDA approved. It hasn't been researched. It hasn't been out long enough for us to know what the side effects are. Right. We have the right to question. We're not the experiments. We're not the guinea pigs, right? I'm tired of the Black community always being targeted with everything. Y'all already know how I feel about it. I don't know if I need to go into it, but abortion, AIDS, mass incarceration, COVID, hell, whatever you want to come up with, transgenderism for some reason, they always pointing fingers at the Black community. And I've always asked, how in the world does something that start in China go all the way around the world and end up here in America, and all of a sudden it's on us? The White House posted the other day that they just had a meeting with all past living surgeon generals about how, right, to get to communities of color and make sure that they are vaccinated. Y'all got to have a whole meeting just about us. And what I need my people to be educated on is when they say communities of color, they have literally separated themselves from anybody that has color in their skin. Now it's literally them against us. They've put us all in the box, whether it's Black, Asian, Indian, whatever. If you're color, it's us against them. Why is that? It's because maybe their numbers are on decline and it's a real agenda to depopulate. I don't know. We're just asking. That's what the Real Talk Tour is all about. We want to make sure that our people are informed, they're educated. If you are being forced, we want you to know what you can do. My organization is currently partnering with Liberty Counsel to begin class action lawsuits. If your job tells you, hey, you can no longer have your job if you don't get it, guess what? That's a violation of your rights. We're going to fight back. We can't afford to be silent anymore. My girlfriend, her son, sent her son to school the other day. He has a mask on. He's got asthma. He's playing on the monkey bars, pass out, fall, and break his wrist. These are the things that we are talking about. I saw a video of Busta Rhymes, and he made it plain and simple. How can somebody restrict your freedom to breathe, right? For air. And as far as I'm concerned, it's almost like somebody wanting to run out in the middle of traffic, right? If you want to run out in the middle of traffic, then you know it's a chance that you can get hit by a car. That's on you, but it's not illegal. So if there are people out there that are not comfortable with getting the jab, guess what? That's on them, because if you have it, then you're protected. Why are you so concerned about everyone else? We need to talk about some of these people that first came out in the beginning. D.L. Hughley, I was watching, I was paying attention. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I got to come with the facts. The man was sitting on stage. The man was sitting on stage at his little comedian tour. Next thing we know, he went to falling back. Somehow somebody was magically on the side, ran up and caught him before he hit the floor. The man said, hey, I got you. I'm saying, who the hell the man talking to? If somebody passed out, they don't hear you. You would think he would be saying, hey, DL, wake up, whatever. Next thing we know, DL filming live from the hospital. Look plain as day. Don't look like nothing wrong with him. Hey, guys, I passed out. They said I've got COVID. I've got to go home now and quarantine for 14 days. DL Hughley left, went home with no medication. There was no cure at the time. There was no vaccine at the time, right? and was magically healed somehow just by being alone for 14 days. Not only D.L. Hewley, Idris Elba, not only him, Tom Hanks, not only him, Don Lemon. Y'all want to talk about the puppets, the ones that's pushing the agenda? Well, we're going to get into it. How is it that you were able to magically cure on your own, no medication, no vaccine, just from being home alone for 14 days, but now it's a mandatory vaccination that they want to stick on communities of color? No, we have questions, and that's what the Real Talk Tour is all about at the Solutionary Summit, September 4th. You guys got to come out and see us. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the things that we can't talk about on YouTube because we need our brother Kwame Page. So I'm going to pipe down a little bit and let you all have it.
I have a question for you, Miss Angela. I just want to know what made you so strong like this. I mean, all of the women that I was raised up around, I mean, they speak like you. They spoke with such confidence. They not overpowering everybody, but real solid and firm on your beliefs. And you don't do it in a way where you're malicious. You come with the receipts. So what made you turn into like that type of person?
Honestly, it's all in this book. I've written all 5 of those books right there for those.
Bring them close. Let me see one of these books.
Hold on, let me get them. Y'all got to see. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's talk about this. So, my books, right? Caught in the Cool. This is the most recent one. But this one right here, Life of the Real Housewife, this is the book that made me a national best-selling author, y'all. This is my whole life story, right? Life Beyond These Walls, wrote this one when I was in prison. Crooks and the Cons, Dismissed with Prejudice, 5-time best-selling author. Also got my own publishing company, but this is the thing. When I was 5 years old, I was molested by a family member.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
I told. It was swept up under the rug, okay? Ever since then, I felt like I had to fight. You remember, you know that scene from Color Purple where like all my life I had to fight. I just felt like ever since then I had to fight. I didn't want to laugh. I was trying to hold it in. You're not going to listen to me. You're not going to believe me. My life don't count. My voice don't matter. And I just think when I experienced that, I was like, you know what? I'm never going to allow anybody to silence me. And when it comes to fighting for what we know is right? When it comes to fighting for what we know is right, what do we know is right? Well, we know that the jab shouldn't be forced, right, on people. We know that that's right? We also know that shouldn't nobody be in this world be looking at a child and then think that they need to swap out sex parts, right? We know that's right. Like when they start talking about transitioning or transgender children, how can you be transgender without transitioning?
Right.
Huh?
Good question.
How do you transition? So how we looking at children thinking a child needs to transition? It's some sick stuff going on out here. And if we are going to be afraid, like you spoke about, Kwame, people not wanting to say nothing, people wanting to be silent, people worrying about, we're losing our freedoms. Y'all gonna get to a point where you ain't gonna be able to say nothing for real. Yeah. They're already putting down mandates saying, hey, you can't fly, you can't eat here, you can't spend your money in this business. It's like the clean and the unclean. So if you got it, but you can still spread it and you still got to wear a mask, somehow now you clean and I'm unclean. But the same people that saying we have to get it, somehow they were cured with no medicine.
She talking about putting the books back on. Hate it.
I gotta put the books back. Hold on one second, y'all. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, he wasn't hating. I know why he wants you to put the books back down. Sorry, my brother. I wasn't thinking because I wasn't looking. I know why he want her to put the books back now. He's slick, boy. He's quick.
Listen though, seriously. Solutionary Summit, we're gonna be live on the scene. Y'all need to meet us in Miami. That's what y'all need to do. Yeah. Maj, you told them about the yacht party?
Yeah, so the yacht is, we got a guy, I killed from Taylor Defense Training Group. He is a Green Beret. He's done about 20 years, active duty military, jumps out of parachute. He's a sniper, Purple Heart, all of this other stuff. Brother that's now a paramedic over in Baltimore. Good dude. I took a 72-hour course with him, just out in the wilderness, no food, no phone, no water. You got to procure all of everything from nature. So obviously, you know, it's not exactly the same because it's not 72 hours, but that's who's going to be teaching that on that yacht for everybody, all of the speakers, everyone that gets the, you know, the VIP ticket. That's that Sunday. We want, obviously, I definitely want y'all to come learn from this brother. I mean, you know how you see some guys and they in the military and they come out and they're incapable of being critical of our government. They're incapable. They in and everything that the America does is perfect. It's not this brother. He's very objective, very like, nah, we did some stuff that's not right. And we did some stuff that, you know, certain things have to be done. Good, solid dude. We want everybody to come to that. And just to kind of piggyback on what Angela said, man, we know, you know, the reason why these things resonate with the people and the reason why they're going so hard out of their way to try to silence certain voices is you wouldn't have to do it if the people wasn't resonating with it. And if you was telling the truth, it wouldn't be a thing. It would just be like, look at those crazy people over there. And nobody would resonate towards it. But the reality
that
is,
already.
You know what I'm saying? The people know. The people are feeling it. And they play with fire. They want to have these platforms, right? Where it's a beautiful thing. Sharing information is wonderful. I think by and large, these platforms serve a genuine purpose of communicating with people that you didn't see in years. They all across the world, whatever. The part that they're trying to stifle is I'm allowed to ask a question about something that may not feel right to me. When these platforms hide behind Section 230, pretending like, oh no, we only censoring certain things for the general, you know, good protection of of our community. When can
you tell people what Section 230 is real quick?
Yeah, Section 230 is when the internet was, let's say, late 90s, early 2000s. Section 230 is a protection that big tech has. Let's say if we go on Yelp, right? And we say, yo, I hated Angela's book, The Coup, right? I hated it. Before Section 230, Angela could sue that hosting service. Let's say if it was Yelp. They could sue Yelp and they could sue me, the person that said that, because it would be presented as if, oh, you're attacking my thing. The Section 230 was there because these platforms are just operating as like a housing space for people to express themselves. That's great because that company can now like, listen, y'all get to say what y'all want on Twitter. We're not going to censor it unless it's something that's breaking the law or child pornography or things of that nature, right? Ironically, now they magically can't keep child pornography sites off the internet. Magically, y'all can't do that. And they'll pretend as if, oh, if you're more right of center, you're saying things that might, inspire violence. No, I'm not inspiring violence. I'm saying American history. So Section 230 is a way that big tech corporations can hide behind government protections from being sued. It's kind of like,
let me give it a basic roundabout. So Section 230 is just the Decency Communications Act. If you guys want to go look it up, and what it's saying is basically like computer service providers can't be held liable, kind of like as if they're the publisher. So they are not the publisher, so they don't get to be held liable for defamation that's put out on the internet. So say, for instance, when they say I'm a white supremacist, right, and write all of these things on Wikipedia. Like, listen, Wikipedia right now got up on there that I'm married to somebody named Steve Lee. I ain't never met nobody named Steve Lee in my life. I don't even know who Steve Lee is. So you will have all of these articles out here that are absolutely full of crap, completely lying, talking about I'm a QAnon candidate, all this other stuff. I don't know nothing about QAnon, right? All of this, I might know a little bit, but I never pledged to it. But anything that's defaming another person, you can't hold them liable, even though it's put on their platform. So when they're talking about this, go ahead, Maj.
The danger of that, though, is that's great. Where it becomes dangerous is when those big companies, like whatever, insert whichever one, hides behind that and say, oh, we're removing this to protect people, right? They'll remove and suppress certain voices saying, oh, you have this protection to remove a thing, because that's the other half of Section 230. You can't be sued for letting it be there. You as the publisher or the person hosted can't be sued for removing it. So they'll say, oh, Angela says something and she's inciting a riot. No, I just asked the question about why can't we use hydrochloroquine? What's the conversation about that? So they'll go, oh, we got to take this
They'll
off.
take you off
Now,
the internet for that.
Right. And so because of that,
you.
they'll snatch that, and then they'll say, oh, no, we not liable because we was doing it for everybody's safety. That is a good thing up until the point where, as it's clearly, it's happening. People that are
they talk you off the internet for speaking the truth about LGBTQIA+ too. I'm just saying.
They'll just do it, and they'll say, "Oh, it's an attacking of a community." No, if you ask, well, what's the plus for? I'm just like you say. I'm just asking.
I'm just
asking. And now I don't got an Instagram page. When did I say go chase and do anything to anybody of any persuasion? You know, so those are the things that one. We got to start really, even at the Solutionary Summit, making sure that we're talking. I noticed that Mike Lindell had something, a cyber symposium, talking about how we can start.
Y'all better go watch it.
Yeah, creating those different platforms. You know, we saw what they did with Parler, because, you know, everybody says, well, just go make your own. If you don't like it, go make your own. Parler went to go make their own. They conspired and got them removed. The point in saying that is this. Black people specifically, not limited to, but we're talking to us right now. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you are independent in your thinking, independent in where you're putting your dollars, independent in going to places that are going to address the concerns that are impacting our community. Last year or maybe the year before, and you know, Angela, if I'm wrong on the exact numbers, pull my coat. But there was, I'm gonna just say a general number. There were tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of Black women that just went missing. Just missing. So this ain't
and then after they went missing, we see reports of womb transplants. Where y'all getting these wombs from for these men to carry these babies? I'm just asking the question. I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
They call it a what?
A womb transplant.
What's that?
Where they take the womb of a woman out and place it inside someone else so they'll be able to carry a baby.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so these are things Black folks.
We just asking you two. We just want to know. I never heard of that. Whoa. Y'all about to make me go get a drink. I got my hookah.
Really think about avenues where we can create solutions to these types of things. There's a line in a movie where it says, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. Right now, they have convinced our people, whether through we working hard, we trying to make ends meet, whatever. These are things that are happening, but mainstream media snatch us for asking a question off, but we'll put these types of things under the radar. Black people, you need to start communicating with folks and supporting them in the areas and just getting information from them that, okay, how can we combat this? Maybe we teaching our teenage girls that's going into college in a new state. Okay, what's self-defense about? What's Brazilian jiu-jitsu about? What's carrying the firearm about? You know, maybe we asking these young, you know, these young men, you know, like you say, Kwame, all the time, can you get your hands dirty? Can you get in the soil? Can you that's pretty cute. And that's fine. Good, look great for the ladies. That's occasionally. But can you actually do something with your hands? Can you change oil? You know, we got King Randall coming to the Solutionary Summit.
Most of them can't.
Yeah, the X for Boys teaching these young men. Let's put up a wall of drywall. Do you know how to change the tire, the oil, these simple things, and we can grow on that. Black people, you have to start thinking about these things because we are living in a time where AI is popping. They're trying to remove your voice. They're trying to remove the women. They're trying to make men look all toxic.
Hold up. Ain't no trying. Okay, let's be clear. When I sat and watched how Trump was silenced through social media, a lot of people applauded that, but I knew then that we were in trouble. And I know a lot of people don't dig Trump, but I'll say this: if they can silence a sitting president, right? This is the person that's over the nuclear codes. If we were attacked, if it was an emergency, if he needed to put something out there, just the fact that they had enough power to silence a sitting president, I said, well, hell, I know I'm next, right? If Trump couldn't stop them, who am I? And then they start coming after us one by one. And listen, it's not just about conservatives. It's about anybody with the message that they don't agree with. We've seen them delete Boosie IG. We know Boosie be a little wild, whatever, but still, stupid, right? Stupid said hurt. I mean, it's a lot of people that are losing their platforms. You understand? And what happens is it's a form of control. Because if Kwame doesn't have his platform to educate, if I don't have my platform to educate, and the only people that have their platforms are DL Hughley, for instance. Like I went down his page the other day. I saw two types of white people on his page. Either you was a white racist or you was pushing the jab, right? So I'm like, okay, we need to pick and choose. Do we mess with white people? Do we not mess with them? Is they racist or they ain't racist when you got a white girl on your page telling us we need to get the jab because we out here sucking dirty penis? I mean, I don't know. Make up your mind. You probably got to go look on this page and see it yourself. So where are the options for our people, though, right? Where if I'm presenting you with information, right, and I'm giving you a choice.
Y'all done made me do it. Information overload. I got to pull me something strong now. Some lady said, what?
Listen, is he got a white woman on his page talking about the black community don't need to act like they scared to take a jab because you've been around here sucking unclean penis, and I'm talking about a lot of them. Now, I ain't saying they ain't. Maybe so. But are they racist or not? Why is it white people racist until they telling us to go get a vaccine? With DL Hughley, you didn't get no vaccine. All you had to do was go home for 14 days and sit in your basement. You and Don Lemon. Don Lemon, the same one, told us white men were the biggest threat to this nation. This man go home and sleep with a white man every night. When is it convenient for them to tell us, right, who to hate or what not to get? They're complete hypocrites. But the thing about it is that if I'm presenting you with information, and this is for our community. If I'm standing before you and I'm presenting you with information and I got two apples in my hand, one in his hand and one in his hand, and I'm telling you these are your options to choose, right? If I'm only offering you an apple, you can only choose an apple. But if I have an apple and I have an orange and I'm telling you, hey, you got a choice, right? You can choose this apple or you can choose this orange. Then we allow our people to think and make their own decisions. But when we are only presenting them with one option, which is what we are seeing some of these big tech giants do, then they're actually withholding information from us. And if you don't have the right information, this is where critical thinking comes in at. This is how I ended up serving 3 bids in prison, right? 2 in the state and 1 in the feds. If you don't have the right information, right, to get the right answers, then absolutely you're going to make the wrong decision because you haven't been educated. Why are they withholding information from our people? And why are they silencing the ones that don't agree or don't go along with their agenda? I'll lose my platform for saying, wait a minute, I want to just go home and quarantine like DL Hughley and Tom Hanks them.
Well, anytime you want, I'm going to move over. Well, I'm not going to move over, but I'm going to be doing some stuff on Believe. I had a podcast on Believe. So they told me we could talk about anything. So anytime you guys want to come over there, you'll have an open door policy to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Send me the information, Kwame. Text it to me so I can go ahead and get signed up.
I got you.
Right. So we just need to go ahead, Ponch.
These are the things.
Hold on one second. Can you put in the chat who all is going to be in Miami? Because I think
I can. Do you have that video drop I sent you? Can you play it? I sent it to your phone.
On my email?
I can email it to you right quick, and you can just put it in the drop and play it for them so they can see it.
Okay.
I don't have your email. I just got the number. I did text it to you. Text me your email right quick, and I'll go ahead and email it.
Okay.
So, Maj, go ahead and hit them with the lineup now for the Real Talk panel. So there's an entire Solutionary Summit, but we are having a Real Talk panel at the Solutionary Summit. So the Real Talk panel is going to consist of myself moderating, ladies. When do you ever get to sit up and just question a bunch of educated, handsome, right, masculine black men? So I'm going to take full advantage of this opportunity, and we're going to get into it. We got Kwame Brown. We got the former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick. You guys will be able to hear his story and how I was able to work with him and fight Trump's White House for him to be pardoned, get a second chance to be free. We got Judge Joe Brown. Y'all already know now. Judge Joe Brown, now that's a real one. I can't. He don't need no explanation. And he ain't gonna hold back. And also Maj Toure and our brother Risa Islam from the nation. I'm trying to bring us all together to fight for what we agree on and what we stand on, right? We may not all be on the same side when it comes to politics, right? We may not all be on the same side when it comes to how we feel about racial tensions and racial issues, but what we do agree with is freedom, right? We don't agree that anybody should be censored. We don't agree that they should be sexualizing our children. We don't agree that they should be mandatory, making a jab mandatory that hasn't even been FDA approved. And then listen, y'all, have y'all been on the CDC website? What is all of this zombie preparedness? They literally got this stuff listed on their website that we need to be preparing for a zombie apocalypse. Now, this is why we need our guns, because, bro, I'm going to shoot my way up out of whatever situation I'm in. I don't have time to tussle with you. Big Mama done had 5 kids. I done made it. I still got a nice little shape. I ain't rolling around in the dirt with nobody, and I ain't running from no zombies. I got to shoot my way up out of the situation, which is why Maj, listen, they said, wait a minute, take away the guns and then put on the CDC that we need to prepare for a zombie apocalypse. What?
And look, and when I saw that, you know, the dark humor in me said, oh, they fooling, right? So when this first started last year, so I have a bunker. I have flamethrowers, me personally. I own flamethrowers. Literally, you can buy them. They lawful. So
all right, you need to tell me how to get one, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'll send you the website and everything, right? When, matter of fact, Elon Musk started making them too. But you know, so when this first started, remember a couple of years ago, we would see, and YouTube and video channels were snatching it off the internet. You would be seeing in China, people would just pass out, like they would just be standing there, just fall out. When this started, I said, all right, if this is what the thing that they was taking off the internet, if I see 2 people in Philly do this, if I see 2 people pass out like that, it's on. But I waited and I watched, and I said, okay, this is more about control than the actual thing. But there would be no conversation about, you know, what mask you're going to wear or what you got to do to get on a plane. If it was what they initially said it was going to be initially, there wouldn't be no conversation because people would already be, you know, running all around the place doing whatever they're doing. The reality, though, is this incremental approach for control. I do not believe anything that I do not trust this government at all. At all. I don't believe when they were lying. I don't believe that now that they kind of start telling us the truth that they might not say it just to get us to not pay attention. I'm going to pay attention to every single thing. But when you start telling a group of people that have historically been the targets of a lot of medical apartheid, of a lot of racist policies and practice, when you start telling these people, hey, don't worry about it, let us protect you and get this jab, no thank you. And I think that, again, we can say this 1,000 times, but the reality is, Black people, you need to make sure that you're listening to voices that are going to at least question some of these things, that are at least going to say, I don't know how I feel about that. Give me some more data. If it generally takes 50, go ahead.
But why do we have to trust them, right? We know about the Tuskegee experiment. Have you all done your research with the, what was it, Aztec from the AIDS with Dr. Fauci? Have you all, anything that they do, even with Bill Gates and coming to this patent, right? Tell them about the patent for this COVID, right? Virus, everything being 666, the way that they've written this stuff in. Why would we trust them? There's actual video of Bill Gates out saying, oh, but be prepared for the next one. If this one didn't get their attention, the next one will. How did you even know another wave was coming? Why is it, if you go on the internet right now and you research Bill Gates administering medication, all you're going to see is images of him and his wife giving medication to children that look like us. My thing is, I'm tired of them targeting our communities, right? We're not their guinea pigs. And the bottom line is this. Why are they mandating the vaccination for us, but still letting millions of illegal immigrants flow through the border without a vaccine mandate?
Right. Pushing it. Not even allowing it, literally busing them, then taking them into airports and flying them to different sections of the country.
Now I got another question for y'all. If somebody put this up on Twitter, they said if LGBTQ can cancel the baby, why can't we cancel Lil Nas? I really want to know how y'all feel about this situation. Now I'm gonna give you my comment first, hold on, because I know mine's ready to go because it's been a hot topic. I watched the video. I never heard the baby say LGBTQ. Yeah. I heard him say a lot of stuff. He talked about women, you know, he said what he said. I never heard LGBTQ.
Yeah.
For him to be basically hung and publicly lynched by a community that he never even mentioned.
Right.
Why is it that our people can't see that it's time for us to stand? Like, how is it that these people can say anything, do anything? We can watch Jason Lee sexually harass a married man with children on video, right? That was foul. What he did with Safari, right? We can watch this. We can see Andy Cohen and what's the other one named? His little boyfriend. You know the host. What's the other one? Y'all know the other host, Andrew Cooper. We could watch Andy Cohen and Cooper for the ball drop, right? I want to say this was what, 2019, maybe 2018. Yeah. They on TV talking about the size of somebody's penis. But if a straight black man says something, then all of a sudden he canceled. Why y'all allowing this to happen?
So and I think most of the brothers that I have conversation with feel the same way. Again, to the earliest point, we just have to be more forthright and steadfast and standing on what our square is. If I say to a woman, I'm in Miami, I'm down here having a good time I'm gonna find and hang out with a beautiful woman. And if you say to me, well, you assuming X, Y, and Z, listen, bro, that don't have nothing to do with me. Your fight is your fight. I think the reason why people like us are more emboldened to do that, we've lived through, how that firing. I thought this firing was going to be the worst thing in the universe. It actually wasn't. You go through 3-4 of them. It's like getting punched in the face one time. All right, sometimes you're going to get punched in the face. You keep fighting. I think that the general public feels how we feel. They're just afraid, and we have to lead. We have to lead people. So, yes, I never heard a Lil Nas X song. No, take that back. The Old Town Road song before he switched up and had boobs or didn't, or whichever way it was. I don't know. Maybe that was a video. I'm not certain. Other than that, I thought that was a little cool little jingle. My daughter liked it. We would shoot the little hunting ducks to it. But my point to that is the general public doesn't like that. They spending too much money to go out of their way to try to course correct people. If the people was already going that way, you wouldn't have to spend them advertising dollars expenses.
So let me ask you this. How are you going to combat them saying that he just increased to what, 50-something million views or something after that video? So somebody's watching it.
No. Look. Spotify, the people that work at them record labels, they all know they manipulate them numbers. We know that they called that out with what's the rat name? What's the rat with the yellow hair?
Cardi B.
Rat 9, Tekashi Rat 9, him, right?
Rat 9.
Exposing how those record labels will buy views, buy clicks. They'll use separate shell accounts, buy a bunch of downloads from separate companies. So no, they manipulating that. Okay, answer me this question. This question. Have anybody that's watching in your hood, you heard them bumping the song by Lil Nas X, other than the one for that moment that was on the blip because it was controversial, right? Do you know anybody that got a Lil Nas album downloaded?
No.
You might know the Old Town Road song, but that's before he started being crazy. Everybody was playing that. All right, it's a little funny little song, but you got some. And me, I listen to trap music. My filtration, I know how to separate between life and fantasy, right? So I listen to trap music. When I'm in the gym, I listen to trap music. When I'm in the range, I listen to trap music. But at the same time, I got a Lil Baby album. I don't have nobody that I know. My gay homies, I have gay homies. I ask them, bro, you gotta, and they say, you going too far. Gay dudes don't even act like that.
Yeah.
They don't even act like that.
My cousin said the same thing.
This is the thing. And I had a conversation on a panel with my son and some of his friends who are a part of that community. And I was saying, and they're like, well, he's just representing himself. He's just being gay. That's just who they. Why is the representation of gay promiscuity, right? Why is it that I gotta think, okay, well, he gay. This is your representation of being gay. This is you twerking, sliding down a stripping pole, straightening your ass. Like, I don't. Why is the only thing we see when it comes to gay is sexuality? Like, anytime you tell somebody you gay, the first and only thing they think of, oh, you like sex with the same sex. Like, I want to know what your accomplishments are as a person. I want to know what your hobbies are. You know, what your content is. What type of work are you skilled in? The fact that you like to have sex with the same sex shouldn't be a determining factor for anything. So why is it when they say, oh, the straight community just mad because the gays is represented? What is your representation of being gay? Is it promiscuity? Is it just being loose? Is it just having sex with anything or anybody? Is it prostituting yourself? Why is that representation of being gay?
Right. And the reality is, when you ask them those very basic questions, because again, my gay friends will go, nah, I get it, but nah, that ain't my thing. You know, the reality is all of this is extreme and it's overboard. The general public recognizes how overboard it is and they fall back. But again, they just quiet. There's a phrase called the silent majority. And I understand why, because generally freedom people, we just kind of like, yo, do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing over here. Leave me alone. Or if you want to barter on something, I know you like coffee, I picked you up some coffee. Like, it's just very simple life. The reason why it's being pushed is because the general public, in recognizing freedom and leave other people alone, the people that are opposing that don't leave people alone. We've been silent as the majority for too long, and it's emboldened a different side. Your quietness generally came. Dr. Martin Luther King said, there comes a time when silence becomes betrayal.
Yep.
And at this point, the silence that we've had has emboldened this other side of the argument to perpetuate these stereotypes. If we were to say the representation of, like Angela just said, the representation of gay men is promiscuity, wearing devil horns everywhere, so forth and so on. If I, as a straight man, said that, they would attempt to try to do such a thing. But when you ask that question, I don't think they've generally sat back with that for a minute and said, why is this being presented to me? When I say that to my gay homies, they go, nah, bro, none of us move like that. It's no different than some men. And again, I don't care what you do. I really don't care. I don't care. That's your individual choice. But when it comes to asking a question, if you're attempting as a drag queen or a transgender, women don't move like that, bro. Women just don't. It's a certain level of class, grace.
I think this is what I want to say, right? We've been living, we gay people have been around us for a long time. It's no type of phobia, right? It's not new. We know that people are gay. What is new though is the way that they are pushing it on these children, right? If you gay and that's how you move, like, I don't understand why I'm in Miami and people can bring children to an adult entertainment spot to show men, right, pretending to be women, get butt naked, but a man can't take his son in the Magic City. Like, even when Boosie said something, everybody like, well, wait a minute, Boosie, you can't say nothing about Dwayne Wade. You had somebody perform fellatio on your son. I'm asking myself, and I'm just asking the question, what's the difference? If Dwayne Wade can turn his 12-year-old boy into a grown, sexy woman, why can't Boosie groom his child as well? Why he can't groom his child to be straight? I don't understand the double standard. But what I will say this, when it comes to children, we need to let children be children. That we shouldn't be perverting them with any type of sexuality, not heterosexuality, bisexuality, transsexuality, hell, gay, any of those things that are sexual. Why can't we just keep it away from children?
Right.
Like they just had an announcement that Robin from Batman and Robin came out bisexual. Now, I remember Batman and Robin. Me and my brother watched Batman and Robin. That was about all we had to watch. We watched Batman and Robin, the Bruce Lee flicks, and Sanford and Son. This was on our TV in rotation, right? And the Jeffersons when we were younger. I just remember, like, when I was a kid, all I remember is Batman and Robin used to save people. They would fly off of buildings or whatever. They would come in, somebody robbing a bank, they'd catch the bad guys. As a child, it never crossed my mind what their sexual preference was. Right. Why do children need to know that somebody likes to have sex, or with who or what they like to have sex with? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Because I have fear. No idea. And the reality is that, again, all of this is going to come back to that original question, that fear of loss. That fear of being ostracized. The reality is it's fake. The cancel culture don't even work. They could take you off the platform. Everybody I know still listens to Minister Louis Farrakhan. When Minister Farrakhan comes out and expresses something, people listen. So the cancel culture concept ain't really real. And the question that you got to ask yourself is, okay, because I'm asking a question about these things or standing on what I'm on, do I really want to be employed by or be around people that's going to try to isolate me from my employment because of the fact that I'm asking a question? We have to stand up more. That's all it really boils down to. Nothing in this interview this entire time has been disrespectful. Nothing in this interview has been offensive. Nothing has been targeted. I done said my gay homies that I went to high school with, you know what I'm saying? My homies that came home from jail gay, and I'll have a conversation with it because I want to know, you know? So nothing is here. And most people have these genuine conversations, no different than I'll hear people say like, yo, well, how you be around all them white people? I'm in the gun community. It's white world. It's just what's going to happen. I'm going to be at white world, right? I'm not afraid of white people. This concept that y'all have of being afraid of somebody for these whatever reasons, so that thought process is where the information at. How can we extract the resources to empower the community that I live in? And that's really the overall arching theme. No one is afraid. No one is afraid until you've been told to be afraid. Until you've been told you're going to be deplatformed. They're not going to accept you. I don't even believe that people like Dwayne Wade, and maybe I ain't made $200-300 million yet. I don't know. I don't even think they believe a lot of the stuff that they say.
We need to get that boy back to his mama. Where is the baby mama? Get that boy back to his mama. Last I saw the mama, she was holding up a sign somewhere, sitting in front of a tree, talking about she was begging for money. Get the boy back to his mama. I couldn't imagine being a mother watching somebody who has not given birth, who has not carried a child, be put in my position to mother my child totally against, right? Something that I agree with, right? Going too far, right? If we have children that have issues and we need to try to let them figure out who they are, we definitely shouldn't be encouraging it, right? You don't put your 12-year-old son in a dress and have him switching and sashaying and shit with your fiance with his lip gloss popping and stuff. Like, as a man, you should not be grooming your child, right, to act as a woman, because y'all already know I'm probably about to get a little raw right here. But women get fucked. They don't fuck. So you need to think about that, right? When we talking about our sons and we are raising them right to be men, because at the end of the day, regardless of what your sexuality is, we have to know in our mind who we are, right? And another thing that we have to do is understand that transgender and gay is not the same thing.
Right.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, "Oh, Angela, I just can't understand. I just can't understand why you so hard on your gay son. Why you just can't accept it?" And I said, "I love my child. I don't nobody love him more than me. I fight, kill anything about him, touch him in front of me. Right? He mine. I love him. But there's a difference in a man knowing that he's a man, right, and his preference being man, than someone believing that they are in the wrong body. Okay." Those are two different things. When you go to believing that you are in the wrong body, then that leads down to hormones, dismemberment. That's a whole nother thing. So there is a difference. So the reason why these people have, or that party has so much power, is because they're all inclusive. When it comes to us, we allowing too much stuff to divide us. Like Kwame put up a post that we was finna get ready to go on. I looked in his comments. People talking about, "Oh man, why you got Angela on? Oh man, don't bring Maj Toure on," right? I put up that Risa coming to the event. "Oh man, you don't know about Risa. Don't bring Risa to the event." Stuff with him. We tried to get Pharaoh at CPAC. Them folks went ham. It was all over the news. And what we're saying is, we got to come together where we agree. We got to meet in the road on what we agree on, because as long as we are divided, we can never win, right? United we stand, divided we fall. So the things that we do agree on, y'all, that's what we got to focus on. If it ain't so bad out here, somebody ain't just robbed you, killed your mama or whatever, it's certain stuff we just gonna have to look over and go by. Okay, people been involved with some scams. Guess what? Y'all love me. Your girl been involved in the scam. Wrote a whole book about it. Got 2 pardons, one from the feds and one from the state. But I'm honestly who I was in my past, but moving forward, I can use that as an experience, right? I can use that as wisdom to teach younger women coming up behind me what not to do, younger men what not to do. We got to come together on where we can agree, because as long as we are divided, we are going to stay divided. This Black Lives Matter movement that just happened, all of us caught up in our emotions. Listen, man, I was down there protesting for George Floyd. A lot of people won't even tell you that. I was the only one at the FBI conference demanding the arrest of the officers. They was arrested the next day. The only Black voice there. So I know when to stand with my people. But that movement, we just went through so much. And we sitting up here mad. This is what confuses me. We mad talking about an insurrection at the Capitol. We mad that white folks went in the Capitol, right, to hold their congressmen and women accountable. But when white folks came in our communities to burn shit down in the name of Black Lives Matter, we not mad about that. How you not mad? You're not my friend by coming and burning my shit down. You're not helping me and haven't even rebuilt it back up. Where's all that money? None of that money has gone back into the community. If I go ride by the Wendy's right here on University where I grew up, it's still an empty lot. But before, it was a place that mothers could go to work while their children were at school. It was a place where people can make money. It was a place where if you in the hood, you just gotta work, you don't want to cook, you can pick up a 4 for $4 for the kids and you can afford it, right? So how are we so focused and these people have so much control over our mind to have us so upset with white people storming the Capitol? Now that ain't got, we don't give a damn about the Capitol. We half us ain't even going in the Capitol. But we not mad about them coming in our neighborhoods dressed in all black, spray painting up the whole town, busting all the damn windows, CNN Center downtown Atlanta still tow up, burning shit down in our communities now, and then went home to their communities. I can go out there now, it's just as pretty, ain't none of your shit burnt down. But you my friend, I'm supposed to think you did me a favor and you fighting for me. We have to wake up, y'all. It's time for a real movement. It's time for real change. It's time for some real civil rights action, right? Not this we marching for a right, for a choice to abort our children. Fuck that. If they gave it to us, okay, cool, you got it. We ain't marching for it. That's not who we are. That's not who we represent. We're not gonna wear that as a badge of honor, right? We're not gonna show up every time a black man dead, right? Every time a black man dead, we want to show up, we want to protest, but it's only when it's somebody white. Hell, y'all, they blow my baby daddy head out in the car, set him on fire, burned alive. He was black. He's like, where y'all at? Why y'all not standing with me? Why y'all not protesting with me when we know that the majority of the loved ones we have lost being black, and I'm finna probably make somebody mad. You know, the majority of your people that you lost to murder, robbery, rape, molestation, you know that happened by people that look like you. So when I'm around these white folk and I'm at the March for Life, and I'm probably about one of the only black people out there out of a sea of 300,000 white folks marching for babies to live, and they constantly asking me, where is the black community? Don't y'all care? What, y'all don't care that they're aborting full-term babies and harvesting their organs? Where are y'all at in this fight? Now me, I'm hurt. I'm hurt because why I got an answer for everybody? Why is one out there? Why do we not get it? So on this side, we marching and we saying Black Lives Matter, right? When they kill, right, somebody and that life is gone. But Black lives only matter until a black woman get pregnant. Come on, man, black life begins in the womb. You can't get a black life unless your mama get pregnant. We are absolutely, completely backwards. These people are laughing at us. They're not taking us serious because we will march when it is a white person that does something, but won't do a damn thing when it's one of us. Another rapper get murdered every month. Every month. Y'all ain't saying nothing about that. All of these rappers getting locked up, going to jail on these drug charges. NBA YoungBoy, Casanova. We can just Pooh Shiesty just got signed. YFN Lucci. I mean, come on, y'all. The culture, the things that we do to each other, we're silent on it, but we want to demand accountability on these white people, and they like shit. Y'all don't even care. Y'all don't even care. All we got to do is tell a black woman that abortion is health care, and she gonna come right in here and kill her baby, and she think it's healthy. You believe anything that they tell you. Oh, we don't need guns. Guns are dangerous. You can't take no knife to no gunfight.
Ever.
Huh? Oh, you can't make it. You oppressed, but you sitting up here looking at all your partners. That's why you envious. You go to the club, you ain't in the VIP section. You see all your partners in the VIP section. You see everybody riding, but you hating on them. No, you can get it just like they get it, just like they got it.
Right.
We have to stop believing the lies. I ain't mean to preach, y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think everybody like when she preach, when you preach.
Yo, that's real.
That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's a perfect place to leave it. And I'm not saying I'm going to end it. I'm just saying this is exactly the energy that the Real Talk.
Have Kwame play the video. I sent it.
All right.
Okay.
This is the reason why the Real Talk Tour at the Solutionary Summit is so impactful. The people listening, y'all hear it and y'all know what she's saying is right. Us men can just get back and like, okay, y'all know what she's saying is accurate. Because y'all are trying to paint us as, oh, y'all toxic. No, what she's saying is 100% correct, man. And I just champion everybody that's supporting. I champion everybody that's coming through, with the comments, with the super chats, to making sure to support this channel. Because it's very few, to be perfectly honest, it's very few platforms that are even open to having these types of conversation, and that's the starting point. So Solutionary Summit, September the 3rd through the 5th. Real Talk Tour, September the 4th, down in Miami. We really have to make sure that we're unified around these causes, man. Because y'all hear it, y'all know it's right. I didn't know that what's his name, Dwayne Wade let his I didn't know all of that, man, about his young man. But yeah, Solutionary Summit, y'all.
So my lips be popping harder than mine. Why you want your lips popping, son? I just want to ask him why. Why you want your lips popping? I don't know. I'm just you a child. Stay in the child's place. If it's a little girl, we'd be saying the same thing. But we don't have to hop on that too much because I don't want to bring no heat on my brother Kwame because they'll come after him for me. Y'all stay in trouble because of me. So I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But Solutionary Summit, listen, September 4th, we are definitely turning up. This is the real uncensored conversation. We at it's not the Fontainebleau. What's the hotel that we're at, Maj?
It's at the Hilton at Biscayne Bay. And all of the y'all go to the nonprofit website, solutionarylifestyle.org, and all of the stuff is right up there.
Yep, y'all come down. We're gonna hang out. It's a yacht party on Sunday. If you get tickets to go to that, I'll be there the full 3 days. Come out. Let's meet. Sign up to be an ambassador. Let's get ready to get on board with this new movement. I'm rolling out with a new movement. Stop medical apartheid. I'm tired of them targeting us with, the jab and abortion. Stop targeting us. Why are your abortion clinics in the hood? Why every time I go on your page or I see any type of advertisement, it's geared towards women of color? Like we already know it's an admitted racist organization. There are articles out. The truth is out there if you want it. Stop targeting us. If that's what y'all do it. But stop targeting Black people. And also, y'all, September 1st, you guys can be looking for the Ask Show. We're just asking. You know what it is. I'm coming out with my own show. I'm going to bring my boy Kwame on. He'll be a guest, Maj, and I'll just be connecting y'all with real people that's doing real things out here in the community. And listen, our white friends that's watching, I know y'all get a lot of flack. Y'all be like, oh, Lord, we support you, Angela. You don't win and got with the Nation of Islam. You don't win and got with our... Listen. This is what I'm saying. We understand that it is not all white people. We know that. We know that it's a lot of us, we got white friends. And some of us got white people in our family. We got white co-workers. And we know that this attack on life is an attack on life, period. But we're going to be honest about the fact that we know that they are targeting Black America. So this is not about trying to be racist and none of that. But if they can target us with all of these other things, then we can most certainly target ourselves with education, making sure that we know our rights. And that's what this new rollout is going to be all about. You all make sure that you are also visiting my website, the akf.org. Get the tickets. Meet us in Miami. We will be there. It's time for the real ones to connect. Ice Cube said something real serious. When they was talking to Ice Cube, they was like, Cube, you know, you had asked for a meeting with both administrations because he wanted to push forward his contract with Black of America. And the Trump administration, they made time and they met with Cube. And that's when we came up, you know, with the rollout for the platinum plan. But Black people, you know, voted for Joe Biden because he went on Breakfast Club and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go past that. He requested to meet with Biden's administration, and they told him after the election. Well, guess what? It's after the election. We still waiting.
Yep.
The Asians ain't waiting. They done got theirs and gone, right? After we done supported them, right? Ever since I've been living in the hood, I know I've been supporting the Chinese wing shop, the Chinese food, the nail salon, the beauty hair salon, whatever you want to call it, okay? So it's just really, really time for us to come together, time for us to understand that the difference between the real and the fake going to be revealed in this season, and that's what Ice Cube said. This season right here is going to show you the real from the fake. Y'all finna really get ready to see who really, really care about Black life, who really wants to propel Black life, and who is using Black life just for talking points.
Right.
Some people get up here. It is a whole lot of, and they get a lot of money and don't do nothing for the Black community. Y'all got to start paying attention and holding these people accountable. We need you to do more than just run your mouth, right? Where your organization's at, when you giving back, what you doing for the hood, how you teaching us, how can we get to where you are at, okay? Yes. That's how you can tell the difference. And if every time you speak, you standing in front of a white crowd, that means your message is not for us. If their audience is completely white, now don't hold me accountable. Y'all know I got a huge demographic now. Y'all know everybody messing with the kids. So we're going to welcome our little white friends that want to donate and want to sponsor and want to help me, help us. We appreciate that. But if every time they go speak and their conversation is about the Black community, they are talking to a crowd of white people, they are not speaking to you. They are speaking for you. And it is it's dangerous when we have people speaking for us that don't share our same experience. So listen to the words, watch how they move, watch how they walk. Bro, if every time I see you, you around a whole bunch of white people, everybody you work with white, you ain't got no Black partners, bro, I don't really believe you for the movement. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Kwame, you got
I have it, but some people must really don't like you because where I have it to play it at, it's not even letting me connect with it. It's just buffering the whole time.
Well, put it on your IG page or your story.
I'm gonna put it on IG, and then I'm gonna reboot everything, and then I'll put it up on my next live. I go live because that's crazy.
That's
man.
Crazy.
What did you do to these people?
Why I don't get it. Like why you? All I'm doing is saying we are not proud of abortion, right? We want to let our children live. We're talking about being a minority. Well, we always gonna be the minority if they killing us and we killing us. I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta just call it what it is, right? If we're being killed at large numbers, whether y'all want to say it's police brutality, gang violence, whether it's AIDS or whether it's a depopulation agenda telling our children to transition to become sterile so they're not reproducing, whatever that is. And if every time one of our sisters, our daughters, or somebody get pregnant, we screaming abortion, we're also contributing because you are ending the Black life, y'all. And it's painful, and I've been there and we've done it, but when you know better, you do better. They have lied to us, right? And how are we ever going to become a majority if our numbers are constantly shrinking? Every time we are aborting our own votes, we're killing our own army. It's time to pay attention to it. We need men back in the home. Women don't want to feel stuck. I mean, we got a whole lot of fixing, right? And it's on every side of the aisle. It ain't just women, it ain't just men, it's us. What we gonna do? So it's time for the real move. And we all been wrong, right? I want to move forward. I want to know how can we fix it? Because we can play the blame game all day. If Black men to do this, if Black women to do that, that has to stop. How can we fix it? How can we fix it? How can we save this next generation, which it seems like it's already gone too far, but we got to do something because silence is violence.
Well, this is powerful. I see why they don't like you now. Hey, my homeboy used to tell me, he said, you talk too much truth, make people hate you. And that's like an old saying. And people, I guess the truth is really uncomfortable right now because, like Brother Maj said, it makes you have to do something about it. And not a lot of people are even equipped or trained to do anything, so they just look the other way. So I appreciate both of you, and I will get that up. Now I'm really excited about Miami. That's why I'm driving, so they'll never know when I'm coming in. I might come 2-3 days early.
Oh man, we got you. You know, we're gonna take good care of you. All you gotta do is just let us know when you hit the city, man. Me and Maj gonna make sure that you taking care of it. Okay. We'll get a chance to chop it up too, man, and talk about some initiatives to really empower and educate our people. I want to see people in a better place. Like I've been there. Like I know I've been in the gutter. I've been there. I lived there. I survived there. I was doing whatever the hell I had to do to survive. I understand desperation. I understand committing a crime to want to have a better life. So yeah, I get what the immigrants at the border are going through, but you can't just put them before us. So let's get back to the roots. Let's get back to what we know to be right. What we know to be right. Common sense. That's all we're going on. And it ain't got nothing to do with politics. We can take politics and religion and all of that out of it and just deal strictly with common sense. Whoever is coming to Miami, y'all see what I'm eating? I like the flavored Tootsie Rolls, yo. If you bring me some flavored Tootsie Rolls, grapefruit punch, blueberry or apple, I got a signed copy of my book. I'm going to hand it directly to you. Won't that is?
And tell everybody who you are, because this brother said, who is she? I like her.
Oh, so I'm Angela Stanton King. The internet, right? Just go back as far as you can. I grew up in the hood. I was on from the bottom up. I went to prison, did some time, gave birth to my daughter, chained to a bed, had her snatched out of my arms. This was before Trump was ever president. Got involved in politics when Trump went in office because everybody was talking about family separation. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What about the families they separating right here? Because when they snatched my baby, he wasn't even president. So they've been separating our families for a long time, even going all the way back as far as slavery. Got in the fight, was able to not only help pass the First Step Act, Trump made it illegal for them to chain women to the bed during childbirth. Because of my own personal story, we were able to get 3,100 people released from prison in one day. 90% of them was Black. That was July 19, 2019. Hundreds of thousands of sentence reductions for people that had been in prison under this Joe Biden 94 crime bill, right, which originated mass incarceration. A lot of our fathers, uncles, our people that got locked up back in the 80s and got football numbers for dope. And we saw them come home. We see them coming home. That's because of the work that we put in with the Trump administration. Also work with them in regards to bringing opportunity zones to our neighborhoods, which is why I was so mad about Black Lives Matter burning down our shit and not building it back up. Work with the administration also about exposing the attack on Black life through Planned Parenthood and their eugenics. Got Planned Parenthood defunded. You guys can go research that. They were supposed to get $60 million from the federal government. The president said, hey, you can use this
trade school money.
Yeah, he said you can get this money if you want to use it for your programs that kind of like prevent pregnancy, like education and birth control like that. But if you plan to use this money to perform abortions, then you can't get it. They wanted to use the money to perform abortions, so they walked away from the $60 million, and that revealed to us who they were in that moment. After there, I got my partner from Trump, went on to run for office, which what Caught in the Coup was all about. You guys need to get that book. Ran here in Fulton County, ran for John Lewis' seat. When John Lewis died suddenly, and they brought in a candidate who happened to be somebody that was a 17-year veteran for Planned Parenthood, ran against her. They completely silenced my campaign. They were completely biased. You guys got to read the book, but I'm still here. I'm still fighting for us. All the knowledge that I've been given, I want to make sure you have it, and I want to show people how to make it from the prison to the palace and from the hood to all good. I'm your girl, Angela Stanton King. Follow me on IG, Miss.Angela Stanton, MRS.Angela Stanton, and I will see you guys in Miami. I gotta let my baby in the house. She just came home from school. Oh, and y'all don't know my baby just won the Harvard championship, y'all. Y'all look it up. It's all over the news. They say first black girl duo to win Harvard International Debate Championship. Imani Stanton, that's my baby. Go on DL Hughley page. Tell that man don't be posting my baby because he ain't nothing but a hater. And anyway, I love y'all. Bye. See you in Miami.
All right. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. I'll see you down there in Miami, bro. We're going to talk about that flamethrower.
For sure. All right, peace.
All right, my brother. Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, guys. I'm gone.